What if I told you that every thought you've ever had might be part of something bigger, a single mind spreading through billions of brains? This isn't science fiction. It's a real question debated by philosophers, neuroscientists, mystics, and even some surprisingly serious experiments. Today, we'll explore whether we could all be sharing one consciousness. Stick around, because the answer is more surprising and messier than you think. Hey, I'm Name, and this channel makes big ideas feel human. Today, we're going on a tour. We'll explore everything from Jung's collective unconscious to cutting-edge brain-to-brain interfaces, plus weird historical events that hint at a shared mind. I'll present the science, the skeptical counterpoints, and the stories that got people asking this question in the first place. Before we go anywhere, let's be clear. One consciousness can mean different things. First, there's the philosophical idea of a single, universal subject experiencing everything. Then there's the psychological version, like Jung's collective unconscious, where we all share deep, symbolic patterns. Finally, there's the scientific approach. Measurable connections between brains, like brain-to-brain interfaces or synchronized group behavior. We'll look at them separately because they're often jumbled together. One philosophical path says consciousness is a fundamental property of the universe, like mass or charge. This idea is called panpsychism. A modern, scientific-leaning version is integrated information theory, or IIT. It proposes that any system with highly integrated information has consciousness. This opens the door to seeing experience in far more things than we usually imagine. But IIT doesn't automatically mean the universe is one giant mind. It defines consciousness locally, where information is most integrated. So for our planet to be a single conscious entity, it would need a massive, planet-wide integration of information. Critics also argue that IIT's math doesn't always line up with our intuition and might lead to some strange conclusions about what is and isn't conscious. Now for the psychological angle. Carl Jung suggested that we don't literally share one mind, but we do share deep inherited psychological patterns called archetypes. These pop up as similar symbols, dreams, and myths across totally different cultures. This helps explain why we see universal themes in religion, myths, and even our own dreams. While psychologists today don't treat this as hard science, it's a powerful metaphor for our shared mental structure. Okay, now for the spooky human stories. History has recorded episodes where large groups acted as if they were connected. Take the dancing plague of 1518, where hundreds of people danced uncontrollably until they collapsed. Or the many cases of mass psychogenic illness and possession epidemics. Scientists see these as social contagion, powerful psychological forces that spread behavior rapidly. It's not proof of a shared mind, but witnessing hundreds of people synchronize so completely is truly striking. Fast forward to today's labs, where scientists have built direct brain-to-brain interfaces. Teams have successfully sent simple bits of information between human brains like yes or no answers, or signals to help play a game. They do this by using EEG to read brain signals from one person and TMS to stimulate another person's brain. There are even small networks called BrainNet that let people collaborate using these direct neural links. It's primitive, but it proves that brains can be technologically coupled in a controlled way. Of course, this relies on external hardware. It doesn't create a natural single consciousness. It's information transfer, not a merging of subjective experience. Psychology also gives us a fascinating reversal of this idea: split brain patients. To treat severe epilepsy, their corpus callosum, the bridge between the brain's two hemispheres, is cut. This can lead to split streams of behavior, with each hand sometimes acting independently. Classic studies suggested a single brain could host two conscious agents. More recent reviews show it's more complex. Some functions split, while others stay unified. This tells us that consciousness is tightly linked to physical integration, which argues against a spontaneous, global mind emerging without some kind of massive, connected network. Then there's the Global Consciousness Project. This controversial experiment monitors random number generators placed all over the world. The team claims that during major global events like 9/11s or large-scale meditations, the data from these generators deviates from pure randomness, as if they're affected by synchronized human attention. The project is intriguing, but mainstream scientists criticize its methods and interpretation. The results are suggestive at best, not proof of a global mind. So, how would a single consciousness even work? There are huge hurdles. For a unified experience, you need high-bandwidth physical connections, like the neurons in a brain. Our brains are isolated in our skulls. The internet just isn't the same. Then there's the issue of individuality. If one mind experiences everything, what happens to personal intention, privacy, and accountability? From a biological standpoint, individual minds evolved for survival and competition. A single global mind doesn't fit well with natural selection. But there are plausible middle grounds. We are definitely coupled by information. Social media and shared rituals synchronize our attention and emotions. This isn't one mind, but it's a powerful emergent phenomenon. Then there's the idea of the new sphere, a growing layer of collective human thought wrapping the globe, which sounds a lot like our modern information ecosystem. And in the future, advanced brain-computer networks could blur the lines between minds, raising serious ethical questions. Of course, skeptics push back hard. Many alleged signals of a global mind are statistically weak or can be explained by social contagion and our own biases. Neuroscience clearly links our subjective experience to our physical brain. Damage the brain, and consciousness changes. This strongly suggests consciousness isn't some free-floating field. The scientific default remains. There's no strong evidence that we are literally one universal mind. But asking the question is still valuable. So, what does this mean for you? Whether we share one consciousness or not, it's clear we are deeply connected culturally, emotionally, and now technologically. And as that connection deepens through social media and future tech, questions of responsibility, privacy, and consent become urgent. Ultimately, consciousness is still a great mystery, and asking these big questions is what pushes science and humanity forward. So, could we all be sharing one consciousness? The short answer is, it is a fascinating idea with little robust evidence for a literal single mind today. But there are plenty of reasons to study how our minds couple and synchronize. If this topic grabbed you, check out the links in the description to learn more about IIT, Jung, and brain-to-brain experiments. If you like this deep dive, subscribe and hit the bell. And tell me in the comments, which idea captured your imagination the most? The philosophers, the mystics, or the lab scientists? Thanks for watching.